All right, guys, I have a lot of clients from out of state, from Austin, from California, New York, you name it, Washington. I get a lot of different states hit me up wanting to invest in Temple, and what attracts them is the point of entry in Temple. So today we're going to go over what do you need down to buy an investment property in Temple, and I'm going to give you all a few different scenarios. Okay. So down payment, listen, if you're gonna just do, like, if this is like your first investment, a lot of it depends on what amount of risk you're willing to take on. But let's just say you want a turnkey property, you want it to cash flow a little bit, and you don't want to have to do any work, right? Turnkey. I'm gonna give you an example for a long-term rental because I just saw one that would be a decent long-term rental, $150,000. So you take this $150,000 property and you're gonna put 20% down for an investment loan. Now that's if your credit's good, if you don't have any, if your debt to income is good. I'm not a lender. I have a great lender, by the way, and he can get you set up with all of the numbers, very accurate. But you're looking at 30,000. So there's 30,000 down. Listen, if you work with me, I will do everything that I can to get these closing costs paid. I'm seeing kind of back and forth. If the home is brand new, it's got a lot of activity, it's going to be a lot harder to get the closing costs, the buyer closing costs paid by the seller. So you got 30,000. Then what are your closing costs? Well, I've seen closing costs range quite a bit, but for a conventional loan, I mean, you're probably looking at like 3%. So that's another 4,500. So let's say 55. So let's say 6,000 to be safe. So now you're at $36,000 for a conventional loan, and that's for 150,000 property. Is that possible in Temple? It's 100% possible. You can pick your poison in Temple. I just walked one that would have been a good long-term rental, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,200 square feet, a little bit of an older home. It really needed a few little minor cosmetic things. But I wouldn't do any of that for a long-term rental. So I thought for me, it was turnkey for a long-term rental. If you want to do a mid-term rental, you need to do a bunch of other stuff, but that's what it is for a long-term rental. And it would be a great long-term rental, $1,500, $1,600 a month, 150,000, you're probably going to cash flow on that. But let's say you can't go conventional, you have to do something else. Okay, so now you're at 36,000. Now, whenever you buy with a conventional loan, an investment property with a conventional loan, the bank wants to be sure that you have reserves to be able to, if the tenant, doesn't pay rent for a few months. So typically it's 3 to 6 months reserves. It also depends on your debt to income. But so that's another, 4,500. Let's say 6,000 to be safe again. So now you're at 42,000. And then look, if you're going to do a conventional loan, you're probably going to have to pay for any work that you want done out of pocket. But like I said, this is a turnkey example. So we're going to say for a conventional loan, you need 42,000. All right. Now, if you get a hard money loan, they're typically around 10% down. So that on this same property, you'd be at 15,000, and then you do a rehab on it, typically with hard money, right? And you have to refinance. So if you can buy a value add property, if you just get it for undervalue, you put it in hard money, you can refinance without having to take that money out, and you could really probably just be in there with the 10%. Honestly, my midterm rental that I did, I refinanced, I kind of did it all jacked up, but if I would have been able to qualify for a conventional loan, I would have actually refinanced and actually gotten money back. I think I got $5,000 back, but it wasn't a conventional loan. But that's no money out of my pocket. So there are deals like that, but that's gonna be much less common. If a deal like that hits the market, you have to be the first one on it or it's gonna get taken. I mean, those are typically gone in 3 days or less. And then you also have refinancing costs. So it's a lot more you have a lot more costs with a hard money loan, but the kicker is that you're getting a deal, Let's keep going. DSCR. Guys, I'm not a lender, so I don't know too much, but I will say you can get in, 15 and conventional probably. Not probably. You can get into 15% all the way up to like 35%. really all the way up to 90% probably. But lowest 15% on a DSCR or conventional. Let's say you can, if you have really good credit, if you have, you know, good debt to income, 15%. So on that $150,000 house, you're looking at $22,500. That's really, like, I can probably save that in a few months. It's very feasible, and that's also why people are investing in Temple. Guys, hey, look, let's say you have $40,000 saved up. You can get a good property in Temple with even less. Like, I'd say $35,000. I got my first investment property on a conventional loan just like this for, I think I paid $33,000 out of my pocket. It was a 3-2. I could have rented it out right then and there for a decent amount. I was just an idiot. I made a lot of mistakes, but that's not the point. $32,000. I say if you have $32,000, or if you're close, if that's a feasible thing for a conventional loan for you, and you want to get a conventional loan, listen, reach out to me now, and I'm going to get you set up, because you want to be super ready to get these deals. The good deals, if they're coming on the market, they come and go just like that. And then, look, if you're local, you want to do the house. I love this strategy. It's not the house hacking. It's Nomad Method. 3.5% FHA loan. That $150,000 houses. You get $4,500 out of your pocket. Bam, you're in it. The problem with that is that it's probably not going to cash flow too well right now with the interest rates. I did that, and mine so I was cash flowing like $500 a month. It's where I'm living right now, but whenever I was renting it out, I was cash flowing very well, but the interest rate was a lot lower than it is right now. So to invest in Temple, you can have saved up, you know, anywhere from 0 to all the way up to 40, 45, 50,000. Now, obviously, if you want, let's say you're looking for appreciation play, you know, if you're kind of worried about the age of the property and stuff like that, you know, you're going to be looking at around the $50,000 mark. You get it if you want to get a $200,000 investment property in Temple, you know, you're going to be around $50,000, but that's going to be a newer home. You're going to get probably the same amount of cash flow, maybe even less on that type of home in Temple, because the rent ratio that's kind of where it falls off at. But you're going to have more appreciation, and it's a safer play as far as the long-term, you know, risk of something happening to the property. And then you're really on the buying side. You will never have to pay me from your pocket. I always I'll take whatever the seller will give me. I don't care. I want the review. I want a happy client, and I want those referrals. You know, on this, I asked ChatGPT for some like video ideas for this investment channel, and I was like, that sounds like a really good idea, but as I'm talking about it, I'm like, I'm kind of bored just talking about this. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Listen, I may just cut it. I may just be like, look, 40,000, 30,000, you call me, I'm going to get you set up. You don't need that much to invest in Temple, guys. It's a lower price to entry. You're going to get started learning with real estate investing. And also, I think it's a great place to just anchor your portfolio, because there's still good appreciation, there's good cash flow, and you're getting a decent tenant. I haven't had many bad tenants, and I've had quite a few tenants. Maybe just luck, but I like to think that Temple is a good place to invest. I have clients that are successful here. Guys, I'm helping people just like you grow their portfolio every single day. Listen, if you are interested in investing, you can schedule a Calendly link with me. You can schedule on my Calendly link. I just got it set up. Listen, just call me, text me, email me. I'm gonna get back with you right away if I don't answer the first time. I hope y'all enjoy this video. If this video sucks, just let me know, because I will delete it, because I already think that it's kind of boring, but yeah, let's get it.